This week, Donald Trump used his executive powers to clean the decks in the United States of decades-long accumulation of left-wing and globalist rubbish that has been accumulating. In this week's episode of Canada, a User's Guide and Owner's Manual, we'll be talking about not only what Donald Trump has done, but how our own Prime Minister has similar executive powers, but is unlikely to be cleaning out the decks of our rubbish. However, Donald Trump has also raised that specter of tariffs on Canadian exports to the U.S. once again. And let me just say, this should be clear for everyone. He has stated that Canada's open borders, our open immigration policies, pose a threat to the United States with the drug cartels, with fentanyl, with terrorists using Canada as a transit country. Our open immigration and borders pose a threat. And Donald Trump has stated that we will face very crippling tariffs if we don't fix our borders and our immigration policies. But, of course, that would be too simple for Canadians to do. Justin Trudeau and his gang of 8 premiers, the so-called Tean Cnada approach, has said, no, Donald, our open borders and our immigration policies are going to remain in place. But if you do this, we're going to place retaliatory tariffs on the Americans. And of course, Justin Trudeau is more than happy to use Alberta as the sacrificial lamb here. He's proposing, and the Gang of 8 are proposing, that we place retaliatory tariffs on Alberta's oil and gas and energy exports. Thankfully, we have one premier in this country who has decided not to go along with the phony Tean Cnada approach. This is not in either Alberta's interest or Canada's interest that we get into a trade war over immigration and our border policies with the United States. But it also adds another interesting and important element into our discussion, and that is our ability to use referendums in this country. They're not used often, but both Alberta and British Columbia have referendum legislation on the books that they can pose constitutional questions and other questions of other importance directly to the people and make choices and decisions. So join me this week on Canada, a User's Guide and Owner's Manual, as we talk about Trump's sweeping changes, his day of liberation of removing the globalist garbage from the White House and the American administration, this trade war, and Justin Trudeau's calling for Canadians to rally around him and sacrifice our own well-being so that the political elite can continue with their agenda, and how everyday Canadians might use referendums to end this atrocious behavior by Justin Trudeau, his Gang of 8, and the phony Tean Cnada that they're selling to us all.